All right. So I want to join in on this debate um, where Ebony K. Williams said that she'd date a bus driver if he owns the bus. And I don't think people should beat her up that much about that because there's, 6, 7 billion people in this world, right? And you're entitled to your opinion, your preference, the person you want to mate with, procreate with. But I want to say this. Everybody wants to push entrepreneurship on people, but that's not the easiest thing in the world. Social media has made it where people who don't do anything tell people what to do and how to do it. And sometimes experience is the best learner and best teacher. What do I mean about that? I don't see anything wrong with dating a bus driver. Because let's say somebody works for the city. I live in Memphis, so we'll say they work, drive a bus for the city of Memphis, right? And some of those people are making, I think 40, 50,000 a year. Think about the person who, oh yeah, and before you say, oh, I make more than that, a lot of y'all stay in cities where the cost of living is different. You make more money, but the cost of living is the same. What you might make in your city, it still equals the $40,000, $50,000 here. Although I think Memphis is overpriced and a racist piece of trash. So I'll say this. So think about all the people that have bought these buses and converted them into party buses, 25, 40 passenger party buses. They turned them into food trucks. They turned them into mobile dog washing spas or any type of health spas. And you took a big hit buying that bus, right? Okay, you might bought a used one with a couple 100,000 miles on it, and they tell you, oh, it's in great running condition, and you might have bought that bus for around 10 something, or you could have got a new one for 10 times that amount or 7 times that amount. But okay, now you're in the hole for that amount of money. Think about it. Now think about the people with the party buses, right? They have a party bus, and you have to hope you get business. And what is I think it's going around here in Memphis. I think they want like $400 for 2 to 4 hours. And what is the major time those party buses roll around? Like 8 to 12 or 11 at 2 or something. Who else gonna get on your party bus after that? Let's say you only do that on the weekend. And let's say you do it, twice a week, Saturday, Sunday, one time. So that's $800 a week. Times that by 4, you made $3,200. You about made what the person that drives the city bus makes. All right, so I'm back. So yeah, like I said, so let's say at best you're doing, 2 shuttles for party buses a day. I mean, a week, Saturday and Sunday. You're getting $400 a gig. That's $800 a week. That's $3,200 a month. That's $38,400 a year. But a lot of people like to tell you the gross. But think about that. You're still in the hole for that bus. You're also, you have to consider the insurance you have to carry. You have a business license. Depending on where you live, you might have to pay some type of, state tax, federal tax, or, sales tax. Some states, if you provide a service, then you don't pay certain taxes. But, if you're legit and you get, some general liability insurance for the state, and then that's a commercial vehicle now. So think about the automotive insurance you're going to be paying a month for that bus. Think about the gas mileage for that bus. That bus weighs what? 10, 15,000 pounds? Might get 5 to 12 miles a gallon. Now your price is just dropping. And, what if you're one of these people that want to sit back and not work, and you hire somebody to drive that bus? How much you going to pay them? Now your price is going even down. So the $38,400 you potentially gross, your price is your net is just coming on down, on down, on down. But a person who drives the bus for the city who's making like 20 some dollars an hour or more or less, he's made more money than you. So entrepreneurship isn't always the best route. Why am I saying this? Because I wrote a business book. I grew up in a family business that's thrived, survived, struggled. I do have a bachelor's of science and biology degree. I will say this, she also said that we're in an age where there's more women entrepreneurs of color. People like to say of color, and then they like to say black, Latino, Mexican. But I'll say this, a lot of those businesses might be in those women's names, but it's owned and ran by the man secretly. Like, a good example. Why a lot of people have these women-owned businesses? Because they try to get those set-aside minority contracts, and it's really a man that owns the business, her husband, her brother, some family member or some friend, and they're trying to get those set-aside contracts. And, just because you start a business doesn't mean you'll get business. She want to say in 22 states, a lot of women are earning more than men. Well, let's think about that. A lot of jobs that were once here in America are no longer here. They say, sweat by your brow, man need to work. They quote that in the Bible. And a lot of those factory jobs have moved across seas. And the factory jobs that's here now, what people like to say, oh, that's unskilled labor. They don't need to get paid anything. That's unskilled labor. Why? Because if you worry about what the next person is making, you must not be making something and be saying something like that. And a lot of those women that have those high earning jobs, they have like manager titles or some type of high title, and they getting work the dog what out of them. You know why they hired those women? Because they know those women will get used and abused on a job because of their dedication. If you look at the facts, a lot of jobs are purposely understaffed. They hire those women, give them manager titles, make those women work 70, 80, 90, 100 hours a week. And by them having a manager title, they don't pay them overtime. So that six-figure job, how much are they really making when they're not working 40 hours a week, but double that or sometimes 2.5 that? They're getting used and abused. Ain't no man gonna go for that. Those jobs are purposely understaffed. That one woman is doing 2, 3, 4 people job. Sometimes they purposely like to hire incompetent people because they don't want competition or make that person's job easier. And if you think I'm lying, labor laws and statistics talk about this all the time. A lot of big companies, even small ones, overwork those people. They get sued. Studies show that those companies save billions of dollars a year by doing that form of slavery. And the fines they pay be probably like 5-10% of what they saved in money. So let's, think about that. Eboni K. Williams does have nice accolades about herself. She's an attorney. She was on a reality TV show. She's a TV show host on a small channel, I think. But let's talk about this with attorneys. Most attorneys don't even use their degree. Most attorneys will tell you they don't make a lot of money. The 2-3 attorneys my parents have used over 30 years they've been in business, a lot of times they're aggravated. They were like, man, I should have chose another profession because this profession is a lot of work and it doesn't pay a lot of money. I applied for law school before and I've gotten waitlisted. And I went to some of the open houses and they said the same thing some of the lawyers my parents have used in the past said. And, here's another thing. You win a judgment, don't mean you always collect. People know how to move their money around and hide assets. They do that a lot. People know how to make it look like they don't have anything. Even in business, you got to watch that working for people because you might not always get paid. You might get paid up front and the person won't pay you the rest of your stuff. And that's another thing in business. Even when I went to the law school open house, a lot of the professors were saying, hey, if you think you're getting in this to get rich, hey, it's questionable, it's iffy. I'm talking about former professors, former judges. And they were saying, well, I got tired of all that politics and that, so I'll teach it. And they'll tell you, hey, If you want to come out of school making six figures, you need to go up north or the mid north. And they said, you know, you get hired at one of these firms, they're gonna work the dog stuff out of you. They say you'll be making six figures, but they'll tell you up front you'll be working 70, 80 to 100 hours a week. They say, you know, some of those partners or senior partners will hit you up 10 o'clock at night saying, hey, I need you to research this. And I need, you know, a report on it the next day. And they say, you know, hey, they say that's how you get by making six figures straight out of school. They even tell you in law school, you really don't learn how to become a lawyer until you start working for a law firm anyway. So, you know, I just want to say, stop trying to push entrepreneurship on people. Entrepreneurship is not everything. It's just something people brag about to make themselves feel good. So with that being said, order my business book at www.paracletepub.com. Thank you. And this part really goes without saying. You can make more money driving a bus versus owning a bus. Because like I always say, just because you start a business doesn't mean you get business. Doesn't mean you always get profitable business with good profit margins, because there's competition out there. You know, you can own a bus, like I said, you can have a party bus, and they want, you know, a lot of times I see they go for like $400 for a couple hours. And think about if you say, well, okay, I can make some money off of $400 for a couple hours. Well, there's going to always be that idiot out there that said, well, I can do it for less, or I can do it cheaper. So don't forget about that part right there. There's always somebody that's going to try to nickel and dime you, somebody that's going to do it for less, somebody's going to say your price is too high. And I made a video discussing that. But the person that's the bus driver can make more money than a person that owns a bus, because they get up every morning, do their 8 to 4, 9 to 5, 10 to 6 or whatever. They got a paycheck coming. Whereas you, on the other hand, you might be thinking, man, I need to get my customer base up, get my clientele up. You know, like all these people that popped up with these food trucks. And everybody's cooking now. And, you know, how many plates are they selling a day? You know, you have to load up, you have to buy all that food, hoping you can cook and sell all that food. So entrepreneurship is not this glorified thing that social media, especially social media, try to make it out to be. You have to think about all that, you know, but also no risk, no reward, no guts, no glory. But I just want to end saying, I respect the bus driver, I like the bus driver, and I respect the bus owner, but one is not better than the other. So thanks for watching. Order my business book at www.paracletepub.com.